Good afternoon. My name is Daniel Mulligan. I represent the company Top Franchise Global, a franchise marketplace for franchising. TopFranchise.com is indexed in 150 countries and has a monthly traffic of 200,000 people. We see the greatest response based upon applications from the United States, India, Great Britain, Kenya, Thailand, Saudi Arabia, and Canada. And today, we're here to begin our 7th world's largest online franchising conference. Now, let me tell you guys about the main themes of today's conference. Number one, how to make $1 million with a franchise in 2023. That's $1 million, by the way. Top franchising trends, hot markets to grow your franchise businesses, such as Asia, Africa, Latin America, the Middle East, and Europe. And of course, the technology disruptors and franchise drivers. Nowadays, more and more entrepreneurs develop their business via franchising. Today, there are many franchisees and franchisors around the world, and there are, of course, many reasons these companies are adopting a franchise model of network development over everything else. The main one, of course, is the opportunity to expand your company and significantly raise your profit. Franchising a business is an excellent way of rapid company growth. Everyone who owns a business naturally wants their company to become widely recognizable and highly profitable. A franchise concept has to be carefully crafted so it'll work. There are different types of franchises that are classified under various factors such as cost, brand strategy, type of operation, marketing course, and relations between the company owners and a franchisee. And of course, this is not just the only thing, because most common franchise types are actually job franchise, product franchise, business format franchise, investment franchise, and conversion franchise. So in this conference, as you probably have already noticed, I'm going to give you a bit of, somehow information about these things before we invite our speakers to join us and to share their ideas. So today, I'm going to be talking a bit more about these issues to help you understand exactly what these different types of franchises are all about. So let's start with job franchise. So job franchises are typically low-cost franchises with little staffing that are operated from home. On the other hand, product franchise, that's something that allows a franchise owner to market parent company's products using the franchisor's trademark. Sometimes it is called a distribution franchise. A business format franchise is considered the most popular franchise. Why? Because franchise owners work under the franchisor's wing and employ corporate technologies and procedures. And of course, investment franchise is usually a project that requires a rather serious budget. Entrepreneurs contribute a great amount of cash in some establishments like hotels and restaurants and can either act as a manager or assemble management staff to take care of daily operations. Franchisees function as investors that get return on investment with minimal involvement. And of course, when it comes to a conversion franchise, that's when franchisors expand their network through other existing companies of a similar specialization. These enterprises become franchises. As a result, conversion franchisees enter a franchise relationship and work under a strong brand name, join the network, and perhaps acquire an off-the-shelf franchise business model along with the franchisor's management and marketing support. So, now we've talked about different types of, franchising. Let me tell you how to actually choose the right type of franchising for you. So picking the right type of franchise demands careful consideration of your own interests, your industry, the way you want to enter, and your budget. Of course, you have to consider, a preferable format that is the best for you based upon all of these factors. So all mentioned types of franchising offer various advantages and opportunities. You should also analyze the market and figure out what is in the demand right now. The demand of a product or professional service will influence the success of your enterprise. Therefore, there are many factors to consider. Determine what's exactly best for you and choose wisely. But the best and safest way to choose a franchise for yourself is to turn to such marketplaces as, you guessed it, TopFranchise.com. Our portal has more than 1,500 proven and reliable franchises. That's a lot of franchises, believe me. We also have a strong team of experts who will help you choose, analyze, as well as support the deal. So let me tell you a little bit now about the advantages of franchising and why it is important to have that. You see, there are, of course, some pros and cons for both opening and owning a franchise. To avoid any problem or surprises that are sometimes not very pleasant, it is essential to assess all possibilities of employing this sort of business model correctly. So consider the main advantages of franchising for both parties to learn more about your prospects. Now, in this field, we have the franchisors, and then we have, of course, the franchisees. So as a franchisor, let's just talk about what are some of those perhaps pitfalls and the things that you need to do beforehand. The first one is business development. You see, if a franchisor selects franchising, the main benefit he or she gets from it is expanding the trading network. A franchisor receives increased brand awareness and, of course, competitiveness of the brand in the market. The franchisor develops a brand with a minimum capital investment and still has its power over its franchises. On the other hand, there's minimal supervision. That is, the franchisees to develop their own franchise, right? So they're engaged in all business operations and are in charge of sales, staff performance, bookkeeping, and somehow preserving the course of the brand. They invest their own money into the enterprise and regulate all processes. Franchisors don't have to supervise every step of a franchise. Oftentimes, they provide training and assistance. So if a franchise unit is actively growing and making a profit, there is no need for any franchisor to interfere. Of course, there's the efficiency and profit as well, because the income of each franchise owner depends on their own abilities to conduct business. See, sometimes entrepreneurs try to use their own skills and knowledge to the fullest in order to gain maximum revenue from their enterprise. This brings additional profit to the franchisor. It'll be difficult, of course, for the brand owner to achieve the same results if he or she runs each business, somehow all by themselves, right? Now, what about boosting the brand recognition? You see, franchising gives the business owners an opportunity to increase the recognition of the brand throughout the country and, in many cases, internationally throughout the world. The more franchise units the brand owner opens, the more awareness and profit he or she gets. Hence, by sharing rights, the founder can actually increase brand recognition in the market in a very short time, and of course, not spend a lot of capital. And the final part, of course, is about the experience. You see, regardless of the outcome of franchising, whether a franchise owner succeeds or fails, it has somehow low profit or maybe very few clients, the brand owner will gain experience in conducting businesses in a certain territory. This will help improve the business structure and learn from the errors and the further advancement of the whole brand. Now, let's move on to the franchisee. That's right. Maybe you're on that side, so this is for you. You see, as a franchisee, there are other factors that are also very important. The first one being off-the-shelf business model. You see, the key problem for novice entrepreneurs who desire to open a business is mistakes in drawing up a business outline for an enterprise development. You see, acquiring a franchise means getting a proven business model that has worked perfectly through the years. A franchise owner doesn't need to worry about different factors and risks, as franchisors already provide a working model and often offer support. Choosing a franchise over an independent business doesn't mean that you won't become your own boss. It means that you will not start from the ground up, but from a pre-made business right away. And in addition, you, of course, get some necessary assistance. Now, sometimes you might actually want to operate under a well-known brand. You see, if you were to open a business from the ground up, you would have to worry about, earning a reputation. Who are you? Who's this guy? What's your brand all about? However, a franchise provides an opportunity to run a ready-made business with an existing customer base. It also allows you to focus on the management of the future enterprise and make profit right away. Who are you? They're not going to ask that question because they know who you are. You are a brand that is already established. The other point, of course, is the help you get from the franchisor. So if both sides agreed to a long-term cooperation, the franchisor will somehow not let the franchise owner be left to chance. Usually they provide various assistance. They involve you with, their marketing solutions. They perhaps take you through the first few years and help you to manage your enterprise, for a very long time. Guidance and business assistance during operating a franchise will really help develop the company and increase profits for both parties. And finally, it's about the negotiated supply chain. You see, usually franchisors have an already developed network of suppliers. So a franchisee doesn't need to figure out where to get goods or find and establish, relationships with the suppliers. Instead, he or she gets to become a part of the huge distribution chain instantly. And that's the reason why we recommend franchising. So, of course, today, before we move on to our speakers, just wanted to drop a few tips as well about how you can actually somehow take it to the next level, right? So here are some tips. I would call it the 5 life hacks for selling your franchise in 2023. Let me start with the first one, the first life hack, which is the family friends, the 2F. So start with them. Ask, some of your friends or your family members. So you guys are into, this whole franchising thing, because that's a great environment, like the center of darts. But of course, you're already in the center, right? Number 2, your employees, your colleagues, somebody you work or with, doesn't really matter. Everyone who works for you, making a meeting for them next week. Just, thank them for that and say, you know what? We have a franchise now. That's a great start. Of course, the third one is your clients. Maybe your clients own or already open a franchise outlet. In that case, there are 2 types of marketing here. Pull, that is retargeting based on the digital, database of your customers, or push, mailing to the database of your customers. You got to do it very carefully, but it works. Trust us. So the next one, of course, is the easiest action, but I bet you haven't done it yet. It's called hanging a poster on the door of your point. That's right. Franchise poster. Believe me, guys, it works. And number 5 is writing a press release about your franchise. Well, of course, about me, about the company, the franchise. And of course, our team of confident and successful professionals are always ready to advise you and guide you in the right direction that you would like to sell or buy a franchise. So we publish many useful articles on our portal, and you can just check it out on our website on the articles section, topfranchise.com. You're going to see all of these things right there for you as, perhaps additional source of information. Now, why do I say all of these things, ladies and gentlemen? Because franchising is steadily gaining momentum these days, becoming one of the key areas for businesses around the world, especially in today's economy, when the risk of opening a new, unknown business may not be very justifiable. You see, buying a franchise isn't just providing you with stability, but also it reduces the chance of wasting invested money. With the development of franchising competition among franchisors actually is growing worldwide, we see this pattern expanding. You see, in order not to get lost in this market, to be competitive and develop a business plan is actually quite necessary, not only to somehow work very hard to find the right approach, like packaging and other things, but to actually work closely with existing franchisees and, of course, attract new ones. Today, there are more opportunities and channels for PR for your franchise than ever before. And of course, not all of them can be very useful all the time, and they don't always lead to the desired result. Some advertising channels are very expensive, but sometimes very ineffective. However, as market analysis has shown, the most successful promotion channels are usually the franchise portal. And guess which one's the best? You got it. Our international portal, topfranchise.com, offers you promotion all over the world, internationally, in every single territory on this planet that we are in right now. We are number 1. And I don't just say that to brag or to show off, but I just confidently and happily share this, great piece of information with you guys. Topfranchise.com is number 1 in all metrics you can possibly imagine. Our company professionals have enough competence to make successful lead generation online. We work very hard to get our portal to the top of Google's SERPs for thematic search queries. Today, we're offering an action for placement on our portal, topfranchise.com. So make the right choice. Write us now, because we're in the middle of the whole thing. And our company would also provide you for various types of franchise developments. Why is this? Because That's our area of expertise. Franchise development is what we do for a living. Whether you are developing a brand new franchise, reworking on existing ones, or conveying company-owned operations, franchise development includes designing a strategy for expansion, legal documents, operations manuals, and marketing materials. These documents are created by a team assigned to your program that works closely with your company and staff to create materials that meet your expectations and deliver franchise sales. And of course, today, that's all from me, because we have a lot of great experts who are going to help you understand even more what this whole franchising is all about. And of course, I am pleased to have all of our guests line up for you to share their experience, their ideas about what we could do to take your franchising experience to a whole new level. And of course, I'm going to now move on to our first speaker. And our first speaker is Ms. Watsana Jas, from Franchise Consultants. And we have also Karnaya Jarutanian. We have both of them right now with us. So if you are now with us, please, I would like to ask you guys to get on the stage here, and I would like to somehow ask you guys to begin with your presentation, because our audience right now, they're waiting for you and they want to hear more from you regarding what you have to offer and what you'd like to share with us about franchising. Can we have the speakers on? That's right. Please.
Yes.
We're waiting for you guys. Hi
Can
there.
you guys hear me?
That's right. We have two speakers. It's a pleasure to have you with us now on the Global Franchise Conference, ladies. So the stage is yours. We can't wait to hear from you and your presentation. And please go ahead and introduce yourself, your franchise, and tell us more about how you can actually help our audience.
Hello everyone. Thank you, Top Franchise, for having me. So my name is Penny, the MD and CEO at Fanbiz Company Limited, which why Top Franchise is one of the leading franchise directory in the world. We are leading franchise consulting franchise company in Thailand, and also we are one-stop service for franchise solution in Thailand. So with today, I'm very honored and I'm very pleased to have this opportunity to be a speaker in this seminar and share how is the opportunity of franchise business in Thailand. According to World Bank's reported in 2009, Thailand is ranked 13 from 181 countries in the category of easy business performance. Since then, Thai market has become friendlier and creating more opportunity for foreign investments. So, like you may know, today, traveling to Thailand is no longer limited to shopping, tourism, and relaxation purpose only. The country is now very fast-growing, economic, and inviting expats to make investments in various business areas. The Thai government has always believed in the free and we also open economy. While Indonesia is the largest economy in Southeast Asia, Thailand is close second with a 71 million population, and 36 of them were classified as urban peoples. This part of the population has very high desire for the international brands. So nowadays, franchising in Thailand is no longer a new business concept in Thailand. There's many international brands that have successfully doing business in Thailand, such as 7-Eleven, McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts, Dairy Queen, Kumon, Krispy Kreme, Subway, and more. So, as not to waste time, I'd like to invite Ms. Watsana, who is expert in the field of franchising at our company, to share about the situation of franchising in Thailand.
Thank you, Penny.
It's fine now. You can go ahead.
Okay.
There's a bit of an echo. Probably there's a speaker somewhere.
Thank you, everyone. And my name is Wat, the franchise consultant. Okay, thank you everyone for having me. My name is Wat, the franchise consultant at Fanbit Company Limited. Today, even the world reopened but challenging COVID-19 continue. While COVID pushed many business and individuals to file for bankruptcy, on the other hand, it opened the door for reinvention and entrepreneurship. As the Thai economy begins to recover from the opening of the country, pushing the franchise business in the country to grow. At present, the total market value of franchise exceeds 100 million US dollar per year, accounting for 1.9% of the national GDP. There are over 600 franchise in Thailand, covering food, retail, and service sector. If sort by number, the first page is food and beverage, accounting for about 50% of all the franchise business. Most of them are convenient restaurants, small size restaurants, or street food cart that take up little space. Because Thai people are passionate about food, and there are restaurants and coffee shops in every corner of in Thailand. So food and beverage sector are the most popular franchise among the investors. The factor that will support the food business to grow are that now that restaurant can fully open and food delivery expansion and the country are now reopened for tourism. The food business that have opportunity to grow in Thailand are European food, Japanese food, Korean food, and Chinese food. Only the sushi restaurant market is worth about 4 million US dollar, and Korean restaurant in this past 4 years is go at a double rate with market value about 6 million US dollar. Another hot market in the Europe. Another hot market is European food and Chinese food. And as you guys can see in the presentation, these are the international brands that had operate in Thailand, like Nakia is a Japanese restaurant franchise, and Bonchon are Korean fried chicken. Oh yes, from Korea, and Boost Juice Bar franchise from Australia. Hai Di Lao is Chinese hot pot from China, and Domino Pizza franchise from America, and Potato Corner snack brand from Philippines. The second most growing franchise is education. As people returning to their normal life, now school is open for both online and offline classes. This pushing tutoring institution and children's skill development institution back in franchise market again. The third page is service business, such as laundry, store, logistics, and car washing business. In the era that people need speed, convenience, and social distancing, laundry service, car care, and vending machine service becomes service business that popular among the investor. And logistics is also one of the most popular one, because now people turning to buy more product online. And in conclusion, the key to success in expanding in Thai would be find professional team and local partner who provide company with program on market understanding, operation expansion, and business setup, which can help you compete more competently in this complex market. If you need more information about franchising in Thailand, please feel free to contact me via email fanbit@fanbit.com. At Fanbit, the barrier will be shortened. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I sincerely hope that everyone will receive the knowledge to bring back to use in your business. And if you have any question, please, you can ask me.
First of all, thank you very much for your presentation. Really amazing job. And Thailand seems to be one of those exotic locations that is just opening up after the pandemic, especially. And you mentioned the field of education as well as the food industry to be perhaps the best and hottest areas for franchising. And more importantly, before we go any further, I wanted to say that you guys are now selected as our top expert of the year in the year 2023. Watsana Jaswad and Karnaya Jertanin. I want to first congratulate both of you for this basically award. You definitely deserve to be on our list of top experts. And indeed, it's a pleasure to have you with us. No further questions. Just wanted to congratulate both of you for this award, because we have benefited immensely from your expertise. And of course, we'd like to award you with that honor as well. So it's indeed a pleasure to have you with us. And hopefully we'll see you on our future conferences. Thank you very much. All right, now I'll be moving on to my next speaker. That's right, he is the one, he's the guy. When it comes to franchising, you always hear him. He's the guy, especially in the European area, and his name is Felix de Wit. And he is with us again on yet another amazing global franchise conference. So Felix, it's a pleasure to see you again on this occasion, and it's indeed my honor to have you introduce you to our audience to begin your presentation.
Hi, Daniel. Good to see you again. Thank you very much. Let me check where it is. Can you get it?
Sure. It's now available.
Thank you very much.
It's good to go.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for having me here. My name is Felix de Wit. I'm from the Netherlands, and I'm in the franchise industry available since 1998. When I started my career, I started as an officer in the Dutch Army for 20 years, and later on I started my career in the real estate industry. And actually, I get the opportunity to get a master franchise owner for the international real estate leader from the USA, Remax. I built Remax during 10 years in my country. And why did I want to join this company? Because I wanted to change the real estate industry. That's one of the most important issues that I joined them. The opportunity to build something for myself, but not by myself. And that's always a benefit of joining a franchise company. You're not alone. You can share your ideas with your colleagues. You can learn from your colleagues. You can learn from each other's mistakes to build an incredible good business. And last but not least, I'm a winner, and I always like to join the best. That was the reason that I joined Remax, and I sold in the first 10 years. I sold more than 100 franchises, opened a lot of offices. And in 2008, 2009, we get a crisis in the real estate. So that had some influence on my franchise as well. I'm very honored that I'm a partner with this incredible platform, topfranchise.com. Since 2010, I'm supporting a lot of international franchisors with the franchise development. And this is an incredible platform. I see that my clients, the franchisors, they find their franchisees to the best platform in the industry, topfranchise.com. When you want to build a big business, and that was the mistake I made myself, and I always train my franchisors and the franchisees that I'm working with, when you want to build a big business, you need a small focus. Most franchisors and franchisees, when they are new in industry, they make a mistake from my point of view. Their focus is too big. So don't do that. The 5 qualities of a successful franchisor, and most of my clients are franchisors. They succeeded in their own career before they started their brand. They know lots about the industry and the sector. They are a brand champion. They were really good at what they are doing at that moment. They make it easy to access support. They listen to and respect franchisees. As a franchisor, you always have to realize that your most important asset in your brand are your existing franchisees. Your franchisees are the ambassadors to recruit new franchisees on board of your network. In the franchise development, our support, what I'm doing together with topfranchise.com is we are building, we help you to build a European company, for example, in Germany, or we help people to build a company otherwise in the world. We develop for you legal documents for master and unit franchise agreement, and we write for you around a 250 pages franchise operations manual that in most territories is regulated by law, and we have the experience with it. Don't waste your time doing it yourself. Work with senior professionals in this business. And we sell the first master for you as a flagship unit. Some of our active franchisors you can see here, and you see they are from all over the world. Repos, that's an incredible fitness franchise in UK. Allegria Real Estate is from Spain. And one of the most successful franchisors we are working for is Saya Brasserie in Dubai. We sold for them the first franchise for UK last year. And at the moment we are negotiating for the master to bring them to Libya in Africa. You have to realize people can be divided into three groups. We have those who make the things happen, those who watch things happen, and those who ask what happened. You have to realize, don't just stand here, do something. For example, in Europe, we have a little bit of crisis in the energy sector. We are coming out of a recession. You have to do something, go to the wall, change your life, look for new opportunities, and start building an incredible franchise company. The expansion opportunities franchisors that we see at the moment at Top Franchise are Europe, Africa, and Asia. But don't forget the United Arab Emirates. A lot of incredible companies are growing now out of the United Arab Emirates. Daniel did an incredible job about our platform, telling you about topfranchise.com. You have to see that in the year 2021, we had 5 million visitors over 150 countries. Ladies and gentlemen, this was my short presentation. I can tell you of my experience for more than 25 years a lot. When you have questions, please let me know, and I'm really happy to ask your questions, and thank you very much for your attention.
Thanks a lot, Felix. First of all, we are hearing some good news about Europe. Gradually, the euro is recovering, and we're seeing some improvement in the whole area. In your presentation, you mentioned that the companies will be established in Germany. Are there any, specific advantages to establish your company in Germany, or do you prefer any specific country right now in this situation all across Europe?
No, there's not a specific reason for Germany, but Germany is a very stable country. In the economics as well, when there's recession, the less pain is always going in Germany, and especially for foreigners, the German country can know how to handle them. For example, I see a lot of my franchisors, they are going to Dubai right now. That's exactly the same. Dubai is open-minded for international entrepreneurs, and that's Germany as well. Actually, my country, the Netherlands, is a good one as well, but the Netherlands is a small country. German is more powerful. That's the reason I always advise my franchisors, for example, go to Germany. And Cyprus is very popular as well.
Very nice. So right now, the best zone is in Germany, in Europe, and you also recommend Dubai as another great alternative.
Yes, that's a great alternative.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Felix. Another great presentation, and it's indeed a pleasure to see you with us. And guess what? Felix the Wit is indeed, if there's one man who deserves more than anybody else, that's him, the top expert of the year for 2023, Felix the Wit, who simply in all of our conferences showed us exactly what it means to take action. That's what he always talks about. Take action now, because he knows his stuff and he's a great expert. So indeed, it's an honor, Felix, to award you with this title, because you really deserve it. And we are so happy to honor you with this title, because you really know your stuff and we truly appreciate your expertise.
Thank you very much, Daniel. I'm very honored, but I tell you a secret, it's my job. It's my
Fantastic.
job to do the best thing that's possible.
It's
Thank you
indeed an
for-
honor.
Thank you for
It's great to
thank
be
you
with
for-
you, a professional. Thank you very much. Have a good
Thank
one.
you.
Wish you the very
Bye-bye.
best. Fantastic. Now moving on to our next speaker, who is Mücait Öztürk, and he is from Turkey, who is the basically export manager at Bursa Kebab House. So first of all, do you hear us? Are you with us?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
Fantastic. It's a pleasure to have you with us. Sir, right now, the stage is yours. We can't wait to hear you and see what you have to offer for our audience. So please go ahead and begin with your presentation.
Actually, I don't have a presentation. First of all, thanks to the Top Franchise team because of the chance to explain my company. My name is Mücait and I'm working for Bursa Kebab Evi. English translation is Bursa Kebab House. We are one of the biggest restaurant franchisor in Turkey. Our main course is shawarma. We say döner actually in Turkish. Also, beside this, kebab assortments and köfte assortments. We have currently 85 franchisees in Turkey and 14 branches operated by the company, totally nearly 100 in Turkey. And outside of Turkey, currently we have 14 franchises in United Arab Emirates, in United Kingdom, in Iraq, in Canada, and in a short while in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We have just signed a master franchise agreement with one of the biggest group companies of Saudi Arabia, and in a short while we are going to open our first restaurants in Riyadh, and after Riyadh, the second branch, the second franchise will be in Arar, and the third one is in Rabwa. And as I told you, our main course is shawarma, and in Turkey yearly we host nearly 1 million customers and consume 150 tons meat for preparing our meals, and we have 97% positive feedback from the customers in Turkey, and yearly we are selling 100,000 kunafa in Turkey. That's the main informations I can give you. Also, we have all regulations and legal requirements for the manufacturing facility. I can give some information regarding the franchise. For example, our decoration costs around 1,000 pounds per square meters. For an optimum restaurant, square meter is 200. We need 200 square meter area for an optimum restaurant. And beside this, franchise fee is negotiable. It is changing country to country, and that's the main information I can give you. Is there any question?
Thank you very much. Very well said. And I would like to ask you one question, Mücait, because your industry, of course, when people think of Turkey, the first thing that comes to mind is doner kebabs, which are just pretty amazing. But this field is filled with competition. I would like to know, how did you manage to make your franchise so successful that you have expanded it? Because there are many franchises when it comes to doner kebabs and other types of Turkish, cuisine. How did you manage to make your franchise so popular and successful?
Actually, our franchise is like a la carte restaurant. We have a franchise. Where do you live? Do you live in London or which country?
Unfortunately, no. We don't live in in the UK, but had a chance to visit once.
Yes, we have just opened a restaurant in London, Cannock Street. the number one competitive side of our brand is the decoration and the high profitability. And our prices is competitive, but otherwise the profit margin is very high, and our decoration is different from the other doner kebab restaurants, because most of the others, like fast food restaurants, but our decoration like a fine dining restaurant, and the price is not too high. It is like a fine dining restaurant, but the prices is very competitive with the other doner kebab restaurants. Not a fast food like a la carte restaurant, but prices is very competitive, and the profit margin is very high because of we have a purchase power in Turkey, and we can manufacture doner kebab in low cost, and we can sell doner kebab to our franchisee with low prices. That's why we are very high profit margin.
Fantastic. So it's all about the profit margin, and the design of your restaurants somehow allows you to have a great fine dining experience. And indeed, it's a very great thing to have that. And we just can't wait to see your franchise grow globally. And we can see more of it, hopefully, in other parts of the world as well. It's great. And more importantly, Mujahid, we would like to congratulate you, because you were actually also picked as one of our top franchising experts for the year 2023, because our team were in touch with you the entire time, and then they realized that you have a lot of great experience in this regard. So we would like to also congratulate you in this regard and say that you are also picked as our third expert of the year for 2023. And you definitely deserve the title, because your expertise proved very essential to help a lot of our investors. And it's indeed a pleasure to have you with us and to enjoy learning from you, and hopefully see your franchise expand globally on higher levels.
Thank you so much.
The pleasure is ours. Have a good one, and wish you the very best. All right, I'll be moving on now to our next speaker. His name is Simon Hooper from the UK, and he is the International Business Director at Chewala of London. So, Simon, are you with us?
I am. Good morning, Daniel. I hope you're well.
I am doing fantastic, and it's a pleasure to have you with us, Simon. So the stage is all yours, and we can't wait to hear your presentation.
Thank you very much. I'm just going to open my screen and hopefully share with you the presentation I have to share with you this morning.
Sure.
You can hear me? I'm auditable?
Absolutely. Everything is loud and clear.
Right. Okay. Are you able to see my presentation?
Not yet. You can actually share your screen, and then we'll be able to see it too.
Okay, I'm trying to share. Okay, so I'm just going to open up the brand pack for you. Okay, can you see that?
Well, we see your folders, but not the presentation itself. So you can actually have to open the presentation, and then we're going to see it, hopefully.
Okay, it's open on my screen. Are you able to see it now?
For now, we just see your folders, but not the actual presentation.
That's disappointing. I was hoping
it's totally okay.
Not ideal, not the best start. Well, look, I'll just step outside. Just save time. I believe you already have copies of the presentations that have been shared through. Oh, thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, now we have it here. That's right. Brand profile, that's right.
Beautiful. Now we can see it. Literally, our brand is Chewala of London. We actually have 75 stores in the UK and another 280 stores committed. We've got 8 stores open in Canada with another 180 stores committed. Middle East, we've opened our first store in Dubai, and we will open another 60 stores very shortly through a network of selected franchise partners. The brand has just won the Middle Eastern Award for International Franchise Businesses. The business itself is a Indian Desi street food restaurant. We have several formats, which literally move from grab as you go to sit down restaurants. And we actually have drive-throughs as well, up and down the country and across Europe. Our newest markets are going to be the USA, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, France, and Belgium. And we have a number of partners we're actually signed and committed to working with. The real edge about our business is the food is healthy, tasty, fresh. 70% of the range is vegetarian. And we have an in-house master chef team who are constantly working on food preparation. So our menu looks at breakfast, dinner, evening meal. We have snacks, pastries, desserts, and a wide range of drinks. Our chai and coffee recipes track back over 100 years. So basically the traditional drinks that have originated in India have then been westernized, and we have a number of new lines that have been added. So on a weekly basis, we bring a lot of new product into the range. We're very unique in the fact that our product doesn't have any competitors in any of the markets we targeted so far. And that's feedback we've received consistently from our partners. They've scoured the high streets and the cities, and they don't actually find that we have a competitor in our space. So for want of a better word, it gives us a bit of a blue ocean advantage, which we all really appreciate. The food continues to be innovated and quite frankly is presented in a beautiful design. So we have lovely looking stores sitting in some of the most iconic locations. So we'll sit in the likes of next to Harrods in Knightsbridge in London, Trafford Centre shopping mall. We sit in airports, petrol stations, and we're also developing for some of the biggest global retailers food halls. So something new, something different, where we're putting in Chaiwala and allowing people inside hypermarkets to actually enjoy grab and go and sit down food from the East. Our aim is to be the first choice for customers when they shop on the high street and provide a gold standard of Indian food quality. We've developed a really entrepreneurial group of franchise partners who are adding value and helping us to improve the operation and the menu and the food choices on a regular basis. And we're really looking forward to developing in Turkey, the Middle East, America, and Europe on a much larger scale. So whilst we have a good footprint and a proven model, there's a lot more for us to do. Looking at the actual design of the stores, the pictures you see in front of you are how we will look inside of one of our normal stores. This happens to be Luton and the sister, which sits in Dubai. This demonstrates the kind of fit out and feel that we deliver in any environment. We have high-tech solutions. So we have a fully automated system which helps us ordering, stock management, profit and margin delivery. So the technology really gives us a special edge. We have a very global experienced team who will provide an end-to-end solution for people who are starting out or professional teams that have been doing this for some time. We have a very strong operational team. We have our own in-house marketing team who are really socially active and are working with the likes of TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, and a number of other social media houses. On the financial model, every model we have has proven itself and has operated in the most contested space in major cities and has been able to wash its face financially, which means our partners really enjoy good commercial returns. We focus as a culture on people, people, and people, and we have a HR team who are able to support people's startup. And we also provide training on the ground in every country and a business development team who support the brands once they're up and running to improve customer service, profitability, and food hygiene. You'll see there just some nice examples of the product offering served in a very unique way. We can deliver hot, fresh, tasty food, which is calorie counted literally in 3 minutes. Our Englishly breakfast is only 600 calories. So our master chef team ensure that you can enjoy the tastes of the East whilst making sure that the food you're eating is healthy and good for you. Moving down onto the next slide, you'll just see some more examples of some of the product range. Again, breakfast, dinner, snacks. We serve ice creams and desserts equally. On the next slide, moving down, you'll see our social media. We've been invited to move on to Russell Group universities and international university campuses where we've got 50,000 students and 10,000 colleagues looking for hot, fresh food every day. So again, the reason why the universities like us is they believe our social media and marketing is really in tune with the younger generation. Moving on to the next slide, you'll see some examples of some of the formats we have, from corporate office solutions with 10,000 office workers upstairs to express formats, drive-throughs. And on the bottom left, you'll see a concept that we just put into a food hall for Morrisons, which is one of the biggest retail groups in the UK. Moving down onto the next slide. This is an express format, which we literally put into motorway services, hotels, and lobbies of large businesses. And again, in there, you can see a couple of our other brands, which include Burger Bro, pasties, hot chocolate, and dessert selections. On the next slide, moving down, just a little bit of history from last year. I mean, the business has already moved to 40 million plus, and we're expected to see 50% growth year on year. This slide you can see was at 65 stores. The team and operations are working very quickly. We're now at 75 just in the UK, and we look to continue growing the business at the same pace going forward. And the next 4 slides are just a little bit of information about the background of our founders and our team. And you'll see that we've got a team who've been able to build businesses across the globe for the likes of McDonald's, Starbucks, Marriott's, Renaissance Hotels, Tesco's, Waitrose. So we've got a really diverse team who can help not only identify the business opportunity, but help the businesses grow at the same time and continue to come back and help the partners grow to ensure they get the full benefit of their investment and ROI as the relationship matures. The packs will be sent to you. If you've got any questions, please drop me a line. I'd love to be in touch. And very grateful for having the opportunity to talk to you all today from London. And thank you very much for your time. It's been a real pleasure.
The pleasure is ours, Simon. Indeed. What a great presentation. And just got a quick question for you regarding basically your franchise. You mentioned that you did obtain basically this level of exclusivity in your products, and that you do not have a lot of competitors. We just wanted to know, how did you manage to acquire this level of exclusivity in your products and maintain it in this sector, which is, because it's really hard to be able to maintain such level of basically monopoly in this sector, which is, food and basically restaurant business. How did you do that?
2 benefits. Number one, we trademarked all of the recipes back to source. So literally right the way back through India in the supply chain. So each one of the ingredients is trademarked. So to a degree, we have protection there. Secondly, we're quite fortunate that whilst there's wonderful food solutions in every city, nobody has actually taken Indian street food through a QSR model. So having a lot of traveling and being at family weddings, the team decided, hey, look, we've got something special here that doesn't exist. And as we've actually started to franchise the business, more and more partners from the US, from Europe have come to visit. And they've also highlighted, we don't see this solution and we don't see the competition in our markets. And it became clear that people who like halal food and maybe of Asian taste find it very difficult when they travel to find good food solutions. So we think we've struck a strategic gap, and there's opportunities for us to help people. And it's now moved mainstream. Here in the UK, the favorite food of the nation is Indian food. And we're starting to see that trend across the globe. So it's good timing, I believe.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations on that. And let's hope this competitive advantage is going to, last for many, many years. And indeed, it's a pleasure to have you with us today. Great presentation. I got a little bit hungry, just to be honest with you right now. It was just the photos were amazing. And of course, apart from that, Simon, I would like to congratulate you because throughout the year, we just learned a lot from you. It's indeed a pleasure to have you with us. And today I would like to basically announce that you are also picked as our top expert of the year 2023 for your expertise in this field, because really somebody who can actually manage such a great franchise and expand it globally like this really deserves recognition. And indeed, it's an honor to have you with us as a part of our team. And indeed, having you as our top expert of the year for 2023 is really nothing, just a simple statement, because you really deserve far more than that. And indeed, it's an honor to have you with us.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm really excited and inspired by what I'm hearing this morning as well. Great speakers, great concepts. Thank you for allowing me to be part of it. Much appreciated.
Definitely. Have a good one and wish the very best.
Thank you. Take care.
All right. Thank you very much. And now we're going to be moving on to our next speaker. His name is Ralph Hia Kokozaki, and he is the franchising manager in franchise in Saudi Arabia. He's now with us. It's his second appearance on the show, and it's indeed a pleasure to have him with us. Sir, do you hear us?
Yes, I do hear you.
Fantastic. So indeed, it's a pleasure to see you again, Ralph.
Thank you.
We saw you on our last conference, and now you're here back. We can't wait to get started with your presentation to hear what you have to say.
Okay, thank you, Daniel, and it's a good pleasure for me to be with you guys also this time. So today, as the topic, I have 10 minutes. So we will talk about the franchise expos throughout the Middle East and the GCC and North Africa. So actually, our company, National Franchises and Three Dimensions, we are the experts, and we were the sole company that started the expos and international franchising expos in the region. As you know, this is we made already 7 editions of our expos. That's why we need everyone with us today to go through and to help us and to be our invitees inside in our expo. So let me go through, if I may share my screen for a few minutes. I will start. Of course, everyone knows about the 2030 vision of the Saudi Arabian government. So it includes, of course, the franchising, everything included and about the franchising. Actually, in 2022, the Department of Treasury in Saudi Arabia have mentioned that 57 billion riyals have been spent throughout the last 5 years in franchising, including the COVID, which was the COVID era, which was a real surprising, it was a surprise for everyone. So we're talking about around $10 billion or $12 billion of franchising, let's say, trading. So that's why our company, we have started, and of course, Top Franchise, they know that you have been participating with us for the last year in our expo. So hopefully we can see you again. So let me tell you something about the editions. Of course, we are talking about Top Franchise. Mr. Vasil Gazizulin was with us. And we are talking about $1.3 billion in annual fees and royalties. The expected average growth will be between 12 and 15% per year. They did not put a limit for it. It will be around 12 to 15% increment in the royalties and the fees. That's why we are focusing on franchising and expanding, and especially expanding outside the GCC. So we will be preparing an expo in the next 2 to 3 months. We're preparing our biggest show in Riyadh. It will be around October. It will be for 8,000 square meters of an expo, specialized only for B2B and franchising and closing up the deals. If we go like to see the differences inside between the countries in the GCC, you can see exactly that Saudi Arabia have gone flying in the world of franchising and other. So the value is in this year, it will be around increment of 12%, was $118,000 US million. So it will be a huge numbers. So that's why we are striving with our let's say the franchising expos, and we are multiplying our usually we used to make Daniel like 2 to 3 expos a year. Now we are trying to make them 5 and 6 and 7 for the 2023, and it will be the soonest we will start with them in like 2 months. especially that the government has several help systems that helped all the F&B and retails and everyone who needs to make a franchise. So what we are here for is to tell you guys that Saudi Arabia is expanding outside market for the outside market. We will be really honored for everyone who can contact us about participating in our next few expos that are happening. And we welcome all kinds of businesses. It's not about F&B only, it's about all aspects of work and life, whether it's medical, it's F&B, it's retail shops, clothing, factories even. What we are looking for also is to go outside of the GCC, as I told you before. So competitive landscape here in Saudi Arabia is amazing. The opportunity is beyond F&B, as I have mentioned before, new and existing brands from all parts of the world entering to Saudi Arabia. And this is the main focus. Now the government is not only saying, let's bring foreign, let me call it foreign brands. No, we will need now to start to export our brands. And actually it's starting now to happen. We are looking forward to work with the Top Franchise to export some of the brands who works with us. And already we had a deal and an agreement with the World Franchise Associates that have been signed like 2 weeks ago, also to export some brands to outside of the GCC even and Saudi Arabia. So we are looking forward to for this. And of course, you know that the government is complying with lots of laws. They are making the life of franchisee and franchisors very easy. So that's why in our expos, always you will see legal departments that are participating in the expos. Why? Because the Saudi Arabian franchising law is really strict and specified in some of the steps that you need to follow so you can enter the Saudi market. Daniel, that's it for me. I only took 7 minutes of your time.
Very nice. It's okay. Just got 2 questions from you. Number one was basically about, somehow exporting some Saudi brands. Would you please tell us exactly what those brands are that you would prefer to even perhaps export to other nations? What are those franchises about?
Yes, actually now the Saudi market in franchising is like 80% going through the F&B and coffee shops. And so we are looking forward for the traditional Saudi cuisine because it's amazing and its spices and its meat and chicken and whatever. Their traditions are amazing. So we are looking forward, and there are already some amazing brands. There is one brand who already have 370 branches here in Saudi Arabia. So imagine he's going outside now. He already registered in the stock market. So the revenue is amazing. So we are looking for this. And there's some let me call them, Daniel, like specialized chocolate and coffee, the Saudi Arabian coffee. Like 3 months ago, the CEO of Starbucks came and visited, and they are starting to grow some of the most beautiful coffee beans in the Taus region in Saudi Arabia. So he was amazed by the quality. So coffee and traditional Saudi Arabian cuisine, it's thriving through the skies.
Wow, interesting. And about the regulations, you mentioned there are some rules and stuff. Do you predict that the Saudi government might make these regulations a bit easier for the investors in the future?
I guess you have read the news like 2 days ago. Yeah, to answer your question, they made something easier. You know that everyone should be, if you want to sell a franchise here in Saudi Arabia, you have to uncover your, let me call it your financial or fiscal year statement about your losses and gains. And so they made an option like 2 days or 3 days ago. They will leave it to the partnership between the franchisor and franchisee. It's not anymore mandatory. You are not obliged to show me your numbers. Let me call it like this.
Very nice.
Okay, you can share it with me. Yeah, you can share it with me. But of course, you cannot send me a losing brand. But you can share them with me if you want. If you don't want, it's not obliged. You are not obliged to show me your numbers.
That's a great start. Fantastic,
Yeah.
Ralph. It's very exciting to hear that
Yeah.
you have this opportunity now. Very good. Fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
And overall, it's indeed a pleasure to see you for the second time on the conference. And
Thank you so
I think we
much.
picked our top 10 speakers. And guess what? You are one
Yeah.
of those because we wanted you to be also our top expert of the year 2023. Because
Thank you
after
so
seeing you
much.
in your last conference, and of course, our team saw you in the exhibitions as well. We had a meeting, and there it was quite clear that we have to pick you as part of our top 10. And you're definitely one of those. And indeed, a pleasure to have you as our top expert of the year for
Thank you
2023.
so much.
Definitely.
Thank
Pleasure
you.
seeing
Thank you so much.
Wish you the very best and can't wait to see you again on our future conferences.
And I hope to see you here in Saudi Arabia, Daniel.
Definitely. Thank you very much.
Thank
Looking
you.
forward to it and have a great
Thank
one.
you, guys.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Very well. Now I'm going to move on to our next speaker. Her name is Maria Hakaranian, and she is the CEO of Robo Finland, and she's now with us for her presentation. So Maria, do you hear us?
Yes, hello.
Fantastic. Pleasure to
Yes.
have you with us, Maria. The stage
Yes.
is yours. We can't wait to hear what you have to say.
Thank you so much, Daniel. It's so I will take you a little bit to the different. Can you see me actually?
Yes, you are
Yes.
visible, but we don't
Okay.
have any
Yes, that's
presentation.
great. Yes, that's great. So I would like to take you to the journey, to the very short journey to the education. So I would like to talk about education. So let me share my screen now. Yes, I hope you can see.
Yes, we have it.
Great. So I'm representing Robbo, the company who is providing the education in robotics, programming, 3D modeling for the children from 5 to 15 years old, based on open source software and hardware. So here, I think it's a little bit slow, is it? Yes, here. So here is a little bit statistic. So Robbo now is in more than 35 countries around the globe. So you can see our geography. We provided our equipment and our materials, our curriculum in more than 500 classes and private schools and state schools. So over the 100,000 students are studying with our program, and we open more than 150 clubs, franchise clubs around the globe. So here is a little bit of our partners and about our awards. So you can see that we used to work with the universities in Helsinki, a university basically in Finland. So we have quite many, but with 3 of them we used to work. We develop our curriculum there, and we got some awards. So Google Awards twice. We got award from the startup Fukuoka City, it's in Japan. We got award from the Finnish government, Finlanding, and not so long time ago we are on a top 10 educational solutions in Europe. So what is actually Robbo? What is our mission? We are providing, so all of us, we all have kids, and we think that what our kids will do in the future, what kind of occupation, what kind of money they will earn in the future. So we are providing the education in a very high demanded creative the occupation, the jobs will be in a very high demand in the future. So such a robot programmer, robot service engineer, robot developer, robot designer, IT developer, and so on. So basically the education is we made some research, and we found out that at this moment the education is more like a black box. So we give some box with some chords to the child and give the instructions. So press this button and you will get some result. So we have totally different different way of thinking. So we are thinking what is inside the box. We study the technology. We are giving the knowledge how the technology works, and that technology is not really a magic. So here is the how we work. It's about our education. So we have 3 different age groups. We start from 5 years old, as you can see, that 5 to 7, 8 to 8 years old, and 11, 15 years old. So first of all, we start to play with technology. We study algorithmics, we study Robot Junior, circuitries, 3D pens, and learning how to read. Then we go to the next step. We learn Robot Junior, we learn Scratch language, ArduBlock, Arduino IDE, App Inventor, Laboratory, and so on. So child really understand how the technology work. And then we start to create. So we develop our electronic devices, our own. The child start to participate in different kind of competition, Olympiads, starting to develop the games on a Unity with the on the Unity engine. So after that, child already know how to bring basically to make the project and to participate in a different kind of Olympiads. After that, child understand how to create, how to start the business. So how to make a little bit marketing research and understand where he could create, what kind of niche he can take. And after that already can attract the investors and start the international business. So here is about our ecosystem. We have an open source equipment. We have open source software. We organize Olympiads and competition. We make a teacher training. So if teacher comes to us, he can get the full knowledge how to start to teach the kids and how to work with our curriculum. We have a commercial franchise, RoboClub, and for IT Hub, and we work with online platform RoboLMS. So here you can see that how to use a franchise. So you will get the equipment, you will get the software, you will get the teacher training, and you will get the access to our curriculum. Plus you will get the brand book and know how to do it, and our team will work with you and support you all the time. So here is you can see that our education is for many years. It's not like 2 months of education and we say goodbye to a child. I have an experience. My children are, we opened our club here in Helsinki 3 years ago, and I still have the same students coming to us. So it's a 3rd year now, 2.5 years already they are with us. So it's a long time period when the child stays with us. So here is our equipment, some of our equipment which we are manufacturing here in Finland. It has all these certificates, and it's very well made. It's a high quality, and we are providing it to schools. And you probably know how the children work at school. So they're dropping it, they are putting some liquids on it, but this is the totally made it so that it will work anyway. So it's a vandal resistant equipment. So here is, we will provide you our support in a business management, how to launch your club. We will tell you, we will communicate with you, we will offer you marketing support. You will get the brand book, advertising materials. We create a web page on a corporate domain. You will get access to our curriculum. We will train your teachers. We will help you to find the teacher and train them. We will assist in a permission section how to provide the whole robust standards. So here is one more same basically information. So here is the you will get into our franchise network. So where we have all our franchisees working, so you can communicate there, you can ask the questions, you can share your experience there. We are making the regular webinars where we are talking about our curriculum, and you will get the support, different kind of support, technical support. You will get access to SRM system to keep your customers in the same place and manage the customers. Access to teaching methods and basic knowledge is how to work. So also we have our simulator, so you can participate and you can play our game. You will understand how the financial model work, how to select the promotion channels, and how to load your premises with the students, and so on. So basically, this is the real life game. So here is about our prices. And this is how our club looks like. You can see it's very simple. It's very calm. You will get the advices how to make it and where to find it, and you can discuss the location with our team. So here you can see that we made some plan when during the 28 days you can basically start from zero, and in 28 days you should already open the club. So there is a one step by step, day for day, what you should do, and if you follow this plan, you will have your system works you can start to work already in 28 days. So what to do next is contact us. You will get the personal consultant. He will send you or she will send you the materials. You will study. You will play with our financial model, so you can put different kind of numbers, like teacher salary, for example, or the price of the subscription, or the rent cost. So there can be different in different kind of countries, and you can see that how fast you can get the profit if you start with these numbers. So you will get the virtual tour on operating one of our franchisee. So you online, you can talk to her or him, and then you can play with a simulator and study the license agreement and sign it, pay franchise fee, and start the robotic club and start to earn money with Robbo. So here's our contacts, and this is it from me today. Daniel?
Thank you very much, Maria. Great presentation. Just a very quick question. At one point, you mentioned about teacher training, and as you probably know, the qualification depends on the teachers, and especially having qualified teachers. Do you offer that training, in-house in Helsinki, Finland, or do you also offer, distant learning and maybe online education for your teacher training?
Yes, thank you for the question. Yes, we have a center here in Helsinki, so teacher can arrive to our facility. We can provide the education here, or if it's impossible for the teacher or for the future franchisee, it can be provided by online.
Fantastic. So both options are available. There's a
yes, absolutely, yes, absolutely, yes.
What a great franchise. Thank you so much, Maria. We wish you guys the very best. You're going to hopefully train our future, basically IT talents right over there. And we can't wait to see you guys expand internationally.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And more importantly, don't forget, Maria, you also were picked as the top expert of the year for 2023. As basically, your experience has proven quite valuable. We enjoyed your, perhaps expertise and knowledge that you shared with us, and more importantly, what you taught us in the past few months. So it's an honor to have you as one of our basically top 10 experts of the year 2023. And of course, it's indeed a pleasure to have you with us with your presentation.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Definitely. Have a good one. And now I'll be moving on to Alex DePace, founder and CEO of Global Franchise Exchange and World Properties International Franchise. He's now joining us. Alex, are you with us?
Hey, how are you? How's everything going?
It's a pleasure to have you, Alex, with us again on our basically 7th conference here. The stage is yours, and we can't wait to learn from you.
Perfect. All right. I'm going to share my screen here. So let me just get this open here. Can you give me the ability to share my screen?
Sure. I'm going to ask now our specialist to do so. All right, you can go ahead.
You see?
That's right. We have it. We have it. You can go ahead.
Perfect. All right. So how's everybody doing? Happy New Year 2023. And, I know we last time we spoke on this conference, we talked about some murky waters ahead and, the need for diversification and the war that was going on and a lot of the financial impact that had on the rest of the world, and lingering effects of COVID in China. Well, it's, some of the bright news is it looks like potentially the market overall, the global economy may not be getting hit as bad in 2023, which is a positive thing. China has just recently opened up their doors and seems to be getting a little bit more lenient on COVID policies, which, has caused a mass rush to try to get in there and also people trying to get out. So things are starting to look better there. The market in the United States, is, we're looking more like not as hard a recession as we initially thought or had forecasted here in America. And, just most recently, Europe, economy is doing fairly well, better than expected, despite everything that has taken place, with the war and everything like that. So, we're going to discuss today about expansion into three of the top markets that I see in 2023, which, I keep going back to the importance of international expansion, diversification, getting outside of your country, because you just absolutely never know, when something will happen that it'll completely shut your country down, whether it's economy, political, whatever that may be. The importance of diversification and, diversifying your business through international expansion, is helps to prevent, stuff that happened in China, in Russia, in some of these other countries during COVID when they were completely locked down. So our company, along with Vasyl and Victor, Top Franchise, we've been partners for 5+ years. I've seen both of these guys do an amazing job in growing, their network and their company. Hopefully I was just in contact with Vasyl, yesterday, hoping we get back on the speaking tour throughout the world, and look for a positive 2023. But the same message always applies. Diversification is key. Just because the markets may be opening up and looking a little bit brighter, we have a past now. We've been through COVID. We've been through wars. It emphasizes the importance of diversification through international expansion, using brands like Top Franchise and their platform to just put the fishing rod out there and see what happens, see what you catch, see what potential interest you may get from some of the investors. Cost you, a very nominal fee to see what type of partners you may lure or catch or see through a Top Franchise platform or through an expansion into the United States and China and the Middle East. So we're going to talk about some of those markets, but I just can't continue to reiterate the importance of immediately getting out there, diversifying your business, putting that, potential, getting on a Top Franchise platform, and exploring potential interest in your brand, regardless of what you're doing. Because if you partner with a master franchise partner in another country, you can still focus in on your core business in your country, while an experienced in-country entrepreneur master franchisee is developing your brand in their country. Now you've got two countries at the same time being developed. You've got revenue that's starting to come in internationally, and it's a win-win situation in my book, as far as I'm concerned, or a must for businesses today in this day and age. If you're not expanding and if you're not looking to the global markets, you're just you're not protecting your company. So why expand into China? I mean, we could talk about all of the negatives why you shouldn't over the past couple of years, right? But you can not ignore the tremendous growth that is happening in this country. They are becoming, an economic global powerhouse, rivaled just by, the U.S. and some other countries, with some projecting that, they'll take over as the global economic power in lieu of the United States. The question still remains: can the leadership, loosen up the reins and allow the country to naturally grow? There have been some, different things that have occurred where, we had a couple of brands that were in the country on the educational side that, were completely shut down, and we thought by no means would an educational company ever be shut down in that country. But it was pretty shocking. But you can't ignore the 6.5 trillion in consumer spending. That's an older figure. The population nearing 2 billion. The middle class continuing to expand. Hence, then consumer spending, in food, in auto, in B2B and B2C, is just that potential for any brand. Food brands, there's certain things that you have to do and adapt to the local cuisine, but there's tremendous opportunities, and we're always consulting. I mean, the first thing that you want to do when you're looking at any one of these countries, and what we do is say, let's look at the market, let's look at your business, let's see if it's a business that will succeed in the US, in China, in the Middle East. Maybe it's a market that maybe you should be in some other place. So that's something that we always offer: free consulting, an hour to just pick my brain, my team's brain, and really get an idea of where the market's at, if your business is a proper fit. And I highly recommend doing that through the Top Franchise model, through Global Franchise Exchange, through myself. US franchising is and will and always has been the mecca of franchising. This is just anything and everything that you can possibly imagine is franchise. You watch, the NFL this weekend, football, which is extremely popular. We're getting into the playoffs. It's a franchise. You go and buy a car. It's a franchise. You go out to eat. It's a franchise. You want to take your kids into a daycare or preschool. It's franchised. Anything and everything is franchised. It's so accepted here. And it's a harder market to get into, but it's a very, very lucrative market. It's a very different market. You can, the way you market in the Northeast to New Yorkers like myself, I'm a New Yorker. We're based in, New York City, is much different than the way you market in a Texas or an Alabama or South Carolina or Louisiana. So there's, it's an incredible market with tremendous, market entry points, and continues to grow. And as we deal with a baby boomer generation that is at the pace of 10 to 15,000 individuals per day retiring, these individuals are not looking to just retire and do nothing. They want to actually, the corporate, we're hearing massive layoffs. I don't know if anybody's following this, but all of these tech companies, Microsoft, the latest, 10,000 layoffs that happened yesterday. It seems like every day a tech company. Now, these people that are in that, usually what they do in these type of corporate companies in America, they will first look at the top brass, the higher, older generation, the people within the organization, and try to give them this sort of golden parachute retirement package. And what happens now is these individuals are not as marketable. So they look to what should and can I do? And franchising is the perfect type of business and business opportunity for them to get into, because they understand systems and process. So what is this? All of these layoffs, although it looks negative, it's actually a very, very positive catalyst and boom for franchising here in America, and makes it a very, very ideal market and opportunity for foreign brands, to come into the United States, or brands within the country, to expand further, because these individuals are looking. Franchising, if you look at a historical data chart, as the market and layoffs increase here in America, franchising just explodes, because these people are not retiring at 55, 60, 65, 70. I was just talking to an individual that just purchased, 75 years old, and is starting a new franchise system. So that's sort of, I always joke and say that's the fountain of youth, I believe. Stay busy, stay focused, stay working, and you stay young. And the minute you just retire and hit the couch is, year, 2 years later, it's all over. But that is the catalyst, a huge catalyst, and the protection here. Whether we take brands, from the consulting piece to IP protection, excellent trademarks, banking, setting up LLCs in Delaware, the bank, allowing for the IP and the trademark process, catering and developing websites if we have to, and then marketing. The approach to marketing within the country is a little bit different. We'll look at some of those, but the other market I believe that is just offers tremendous explosive growth is the Middle East, especially Saudi Arabia. I just love what is going on in that country, the growth that is happening in that country, the people, the leadership has really become entrepreneur friendly and has opened the doors to foreign brands to come into that market. We have offices in Riyadh, and what is going on there is a definite positive and huge opportunity and potential, within that country. GCC, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Oman, all of these other countries are obviously all incredible opportunities, but I would really look carefully at Saudi Arabia as a market to at least explore. There's some hurdles that you have to overcome and legal regulations, but our in-country office, along with Top Franchise, Vassal and Victor, can assist you with that. But it's definitely a market you want to look at. Barriers to entry into China, the biggest one is the speaking. They're basically, I believe it's 96% of the country doesn't speak English. It's pretty much Mandarin. If you ever travel, I've traveled on business many times to Beijing, Shanghai, if you're, the biggest thing is, it's a country where most people do not speak English. So, there's some adapting with websites, with curriculum, with training. It's a very different culture. Lots of red tape, as we know. But supply chain and warehousing could be a positive. We also assist companies with, supply chain and sourcing. We've done that with major big brands, lowering cost of containers for franchisors that had 1,500 plus units, reducing their overall global COGS for each one of their units, franchise units, by 2 to 3%, which when you look at the numbers is very high. So warehousing and manufacturing and supply chain in China, although it has moved into some of these other countries, into Southeast Asia and Vietnam and Malaysia and some, it's still going to come back, and it's still one of the cheapest in the world. So that's something that we are experts in and have in-country partners that can build out as well. But translation and localization of the market materials is going to be huge. And the key to developing, and even just getting into the country is all about what we call guanji. And that's, roughly translated as relationships. It is a far more important role than it is in any other parts of the world. It's establishing those relationships face to face, having somebody, not through a Zoom, but, in a boardroom, in a coffee, breaking bread, having dinner. There's a process. They have to feel the trust and relationship with, especially the foreign brands. So even more now, after the past couple of years. So relationships, and that's what we have. Having the team in Beijing, having offices in Beijing, Shanghai, it allows us to build those relationships initially, for the brands that are looking to expand into China. Same thing with the United States. Here's a team. I won't go into that. I've been in franchising for 25 plus years as a franchisor. I've worked international for Edible Arrangements, one of the largest top 50 franchisors in the world. I've worked for Remax, one of the top 5 franchisors in the world, publicly traded company, and have helped many of companies. I think consultants are, the franchise consultant term nowadays is used freely. Anybody can label themselves as a franchise consultant. What you want to look is who has actually built the franchise system, who has actually worked for a top 5 global franchise system, or top 50, top 100, who have worked for a franchisor at all. What is their experience? Anybody can slap a consultant name onto their title, but really look at the experience that team brings, who they are, what knowledge they have, how long they've been in the market, and what have they done, what have they built, right? That's important before you make those decisions. And I can, being in this industry for a long time, being on the speaking circuit with Vasyl and Victor, I could definitely vouch and validate for these guys. They've done a great job. I'm super proud of them.
Fantastic.
Here's our, I'll speed it through because I'm probably going. Here's China team, offices Beijing, 80 plus franchising operations support, franchise development, marketing, logistics, accounting, anything and everything that you could possibly imagine. Expansion, rapid expansion within the country. The strategic partners with 4 of the largest franchise organizations in China. Not just a typical, outsourced, web portal, but actually in country. That's going to be the key. You have myself that leads the United States team, as well as my 30 partners throughout the world in the different countries, but in-country partners that have experience building businesses. That's the most important thing. Over the past 20 years, I've built these relationships with entrepreneurs that are master franchisees that own their own companies and have built companies and become your extension, your partners within those countries to help expand the business. I believe it's the only way, having in-country experienced entrepreneurs to help build that country. But we have localization of the brand, China trips, USA development strategy. First thing I'll leave this. If anybody's interested, you can contact Top Franchise, and I can send over this website, this PowerPoint. Apologize. But the first step is pre-market strategy. Are you a company that would fit in any one of these countries? Are you, and that's what we look. We look at what you're doing, who you are, what you offer, what's the team made up? Is this if not only just is this the right market, but do you have the capabilities to be able to expand training, support? So, the first step is really a consultation. I offer those free. And a lot of times that evolves into even other things on how do I help grow my company, my franchise, strategies for their, that I've used here in America. And I've learned from a sales development standpoint, from a marketing standpoint, from an operational. I'm always open and willing to talk to, any aspiring brands and brands that are in development, regardless of the size. Our partnerships in China. Let's just go through this. Just want to get through this. I believe, this is one of the things that's coming back. I definitely would speak with Vasil and Victor. The expos in Asia, Beijing and Shanghai, I believe this year are opening up. This is one of our booths that we had at one of the events prior to COVID. But again, you can go to these events, and if you don't have somebody that speaks the language, it'll be useless, because probably 99% of the people that come to your booth don't speak English. So you've got to be prepared for that. There's different ways to attack the market and make a Beijing or Shanghai trade show beneficial for your brand. And, we consult and help and assist, with that as well. We offer trips into China, business trips. We did prior to COVID, where we're taking you to different places, businesses, and learning not only about the China Chain and Franchise Association, but different businesses, different American businesses who have expanded within their corporate headquarters to just get an insight of what it took to adapt and build and grow and develop a brand within the country there, which is invaluable. And we set up investor meetings with potential entrepreneurs that are interested as well. We do that in Korea, Saudi Arabia, China, United States. These trips become invaluable, not only with the franchisors and the leaders that all get to know, build each other, that get to build a relationship amongst each other and a bond, but just the insight and the firsthand knowledge and the visits to these countries and the businesses and understanding, what it takes to survive, and what these American companies or Chinese companies or Saudi companies, Korean companies have done, to be successful in there. This is one of our events that we've had 15 to 30 Chinese investors that we're in. This one was just right outside of New York. We took them to Wall Street. We took them, to several different brands within the country. So, you also, as far as from a franchisor standpoint, you also get the opportunity on these tours to present your brand directly to investors that are looking for master franchise opportunities. Not only is it a learning and exploration and insight, but you get an opportunity to talk to investors, entrepreneurs that attend these meetings that we schedule ahead and have all set for you as you come in through these. So we're back up and running. It's been on hold, obviously, for obvious reasons, but those tours have been incredibly successful with helping brands and investors and founders just learn a tremendous amount of knowledge and network within each one of these countries. China marketing strategy. Again, I'm running a little bit over, so I'm going to probably just wrap this up. If you guys You guys, yeah, that's it. I'm gonna wrap this up. I don't want to take too much time.
Fantastic. Thank you very
I'm
much,
talking-
Alex. Oh, first of all, I never expected you to promote, doing business in China. That was like, wow, what a surprise, what a pleasant surprise. And more importantly, in this situation with what is happening right now, the whole power dynamics between China and the US, it's still very incredible to see how much potential there is here. I mean, just this huge marketplace opening up to franchisers is going to be very amazing. So we don't have much time. Just a very quick question was about the main difference. You of course offered a lot of solutions here, and you told us about the barriers and so on. But if you want to just say the number one benefit of going through all this challenge to open a franchise in China, what would that one top benefit be?
To open up in China?
That's right.
There's obviously the risks that come with China, but the huge, massive opportunity is you can't ignore the population and the expanding middle class. When you have this middle class, 15, 20 years ago, most families didn't even have a car. Now, it's standard to have a car. And as that middle class continues to expand and the economy continues to grow, consumer spending obviously increases. So as consumer spending increases, disposable income increases. And where does that money go? It goes into clothes, food, restaurants, leisure, opportunities, huge opportunities, because the size of, we're talking about billions within this country. So that opens up a tremendous market and opportunity, as that middle class expands and the consumer spending just increases.
Indeed. Very well. Thank you very much. It was a thorough presentation. We got all the information, and we thank you very much. And more importantly, you are also, Alex, one of our top 8 basically experts of the year in 2023, because we know your stuff. There are just, as you mentioned earlier, there are a lot of experts in this field, but not a lot of them actually really are true experts. You are one of those who really earned this title, and we would like to congratulate you for being recognized as the top expert of the year 2023, because Alex, you know your stuff, you get it done, and I just see you from conference to conference, how much you're expanding. It's just really incredible and inspiring. So thank you very much for a presentation, and we're really enjoying being with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
And I'm going to move on to our last speaker today, and he is going to join us, Abdelghany Balachia, the founder and CEO at StemTree Franchising. He's now with us. So can you hear us?
Yes, loud and clear.
Fantastic. Bravo. So the stage is yours. I know you were waiting for a while, so thank you for your patience. Now we're here to basically have your presentation with us. Please proceed.
Well, thank you so much. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Let me just share. It was a great talk by Alex. I haven't spoken with Alex for 4 or 5 years. What a great opportunity to see him speaking. Let me share my presentation. All right. Daniel, you can see my screen, correct?
Yes, the screen is there, and so is the presentation. Please go ahead.
Awesome. Well, I would like to welcome all of you to this brief talk about StemTree. My name is Abdelghany Balachia. I'm the founder and CEO of StemTree. So before I start, I would like to say a few words about the children education business space overall. Some of you may know, and this space is divided into 2 segments. We have the tutoring business as well as the enrichment business. This is the fastest growing industries today, not just here in the US, but all over the world. Between the 2 segments, we're talking about a $224+ billion just in the US. You will find brands in either one of these 2 categories. What we have done at StemTree is we have developed a system that covers both services, services in both segments. Today, we are the only STEM franchise that has these capabilities, and we have done that through our very unique STEM curriculums. So few words about my, as a founder as well, but my background. I've been in STEM for almost over 25 years in the STEM field, 25 years of education, plus professional experience. I was a CTO of a software engineering company. And we founded STEMtree back in 2010 as a mobile version. We moved to brick and mortar operation. I'll be talking about that a little bit. So just to tell you that I have a whole team who is STEM strong and believe in this space, and we would like to make a difference in all, in inspiring kids throughout the whole world. So why STEMtree? Well, STEMtree is a K-12 STEM curriculum. The business can be run as a semi-absentee or even a fully absentee ownership, and we'll talk about that in more details in our presentation to prospects. We do require brick and mortar operations. However, what we have done, we are allowing our franchisees to expand the business by offering the mobile versions of the business. The benefits of offering the mobile version of the business is not only bringing revenues to the franchisees, but also they are increasing their visibility within whatever they are, their territories. STEMtree offers its franchisees potential 365 revenue, and we do that basically by offering enrollment services, helping parents, inspiring kids throughout the whole year, from beginning of the school year through the summer, through our camps, through our enrichment program, and several other enrollment services. As I said, today, STEMtree offers a very comprehensive K-12. K stands for kindergartners all the way to high school. K-12 is high school for overseas, and we've done that into science, technology, robotics, electricity, electronics, and math, with a very unique education model and, of course, low investments depending where you are. As I said, STEMtree was founded back in 2010, and we ran that for a couple of years as a mobile version. Does not work, especially for lower middle grade level students. We opened our first brick and mortar operations almost like 7 years now, and we're located in Northern Virginia, part of the United States, the East Coast, a very highly affluent area. And STEMtree has been voted the best summer to go to for 6 years in a row. Other recognitions by our parents, our community, and we're very blessed to be recognized as one of the best curriculum to go to, best children education businesses, that offer services for those parents. Territory requirements. This is a US version. Overseas, we can talk about that in more details for people who are interested. We will help people here in the US to find the location. We have a whole network of commercial real estate agents that help our franchisees or potential franchisees, in finding their locations here in the US. As I said, STEMtree offer a very unique curriculum, a curriculum that goes beyond just hands-on activities, a curriculum that goes beyond traditional classroom instruction settings. STEMtree is the only franchise that offers a complete curriculum in these 5 STEM subjects: science, coding, robotics, electricity and electronics, and math. So we're not just a single concept from brand. Today, STEMtree offer a very rich curriculum that works, for all kind of needs. Today, with this subject, with these 5 programs, we are able to offer both enrichment enrollment as well as the tutoring enrollment. The tutoring enrollment, as you know, is when the kids are, behind math or they're struggling, they were very happy to, they come to us, and we have a very strong tutoring program. Enrichment, as you know, it's, it involves coding, robotics, electricity, and electronics. What differentiates STEMtree again from other brands is our very unique education model. If you look at the enrichment, I mean, the tutoring space, like math, for example, has been around for a long time, and as we know, it's been established, it's mature, you find all kind of models in it. However, the enrichment space is fairly new in the franchising space. If you look at it, probably we're talking about early 90s, you know what I mean? We start seeing some of brands in the enrichment space, coding, robotics, even science. You know what I mean? So what we have done at STEMtree is we've gone beyond, again, the traditional instruction setting, the traditional classroom where you have a single instructors with the, now, no matter how small the class is, it always has a drawback. And that's the reason why today we have a drawback. We have a challenge in STEM workforce. So what we have done at STEMtree is we have individualize the instructions for kids in every single subject at different grade levels. And this has a very, you know, we're assessing the kids, we're customizing a very learning plan and a unique learning plan for every single child, and children are working at their own pace. As I said, we do one-on-one instruction, does not mean private, but we have a ratio 4 to 6 kids per instructor, and we'll talk about that in more details again for whoever is interested. And this flexibility, this model gives flexibilities to the parents to sign up their kids at any time, any day of the month, parade, and start right away with the flexibility to schedule their sessions throughout the whole week. As I said, STEMtree offers its franchisees a 365 potential revenues, and we have done that again by offering enrollment within your physical location, within your brick and mortar operation, as well as going in, you know, in your territories to schools, rec centers, anywhere you people are. Today, a lot of schools throughout the whole world, I've talked to other, you know, prospects basically in other countries, are offering these services at schools as well as in their centers. So this gives franchises potential revenues from within their centers, what we call inside in-center operations, as well as the out-center operations. And you have multiple streams of revenues throughout the whole year through different program, a membership program. Camps are very popular today, you know, worldwide. You know, birthday parties, what we call after-school programs and year-round camps. What we have done, and we work, you know, in parallel to grow the business as well as supporting our current franchisees, and we have done that in, you know, multiple ways. First of all, you know, our franchisees have access to a state-of-art CRM or you know, system that allows franchisees to manage their parents, their students, have access to our, you know, very rich curriculums. We also have developed, you know, technology to support our franchisees in their marketing, advertising efforts by offering them 24/7 access to a you know, a very rich portal that help them you know, in the tasks. We also have you know, a learning management system that helps franchisees prepare, train their instructors. As I always said, you're not going to be there all the time. You know, you rely on the instructors. You rely on people to help you run the business, whether within your physical location within your center or outside the center. You spend money, you know, in your marketing effort, generating leads. They work, they come in, but that you know, the buck doesn't stop there. That's just only the beginning. You make sure those, you know, those little kids that come, or old or middle school kids who are coming to your centers, you know, I mean, are taken care of. Those are your real customers, and you need to take care of them. And the only way to do that is to make sure that you train your instructors. So we have a very, you know, a learning management system rich with a rich libraries of training from any single operation that is needed to run the business. it's there. So that's very important. We also support our franchisees by regular conference calls every quarters. We have a weekly calls, windows set up for our franchisees to call with any issues they have every single Friday of the week. Or whatever is it, that's as a windows that's dedicated to, talk to the CEO, available, and of course our ongoing support and support from our team. I always get these questions, and it's very, traditional questions. Who are your franchisees? We're not looking for somebody who is 100% STEM. We would love to get somebody who would like to make a difference in their communities, somebody who love the education space, somebody who cares and love to, to provide and inspire kids within their communities. And that's what we're looking for. Plus would be probably somebody who has some, experience in STEM, not necessarily, because we don't want you to buy the business to become a teacher. You don't have to be a science, you don't have to be a coder to run the business. Your job as an owner is to grow the business. The education part can be run by a team of instructors. And I always said, even if you can teach all these subjects, how many kids can you teach? Where can you teach them? And what if you want to scale your business and become a multi-unit owner? So those are very important elements, that one has to take take into considerations. Within the US, the minimum liquidity is about 125K, and overseas, I'll have a slide on that. I'll be talking about that. Again, somebody who's looking to run the business as my absentee or absentee. Those are, this is, a figure for, investments within the United States. If somebody is interested, of course, I think we may have some potential, customers here in the US. I'll talk about that. It's in more details, and we do offer, as I said, more detailed presentations. But it's very straightforward. We can talk franchise agreements for 5 years. That's the common agreements in children's education space. And I'll be more than happy to speak and talk to anybody who's interested in more details about the investments. As far as overseas is concerned, we are currently talking to a couple of prospects in South Africa, in Morocco, and in Tunisia. And the initial franchising fee varies from regional to master. We're looking for master franchisees primarily, but we also can entertain other people who are interested in, a different part of regions in their countries. Royalties also will be covered and discussed for whoever is interested in franchising and expanding and taking STEMtree to their countries. And also, the franchising agreement is one of the benefits is we don't charge you. We don't, there are no renewal fees, there are no terminate fees once you sign the franchising agreement. And we are constantly updating and expanding our curriculum, and it will be available to our franchisees free of charge. Well, this is my name. This is the phone number, STEMtree, and this is the email address. Anybody who's interested, please feel free to reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to provide you with more details, details about the business. I would love to encourage you to look at our Facebook account for fun, entertaining, interesting videos for our kids into diving into STEM educations. And any questions?
Fantastic. First of all, thank you very much, Abdelghany, for your presentation. Very, thorough, explained everything. I got a quick question for you. And
Absolutely.
That was in your presentation, you mentioned that the tutoring industry could reach 200 billion by 2026. What is driving this demand, and how come this is expanding and, becoming so large at such a rapid pace? Is there any particular reason for that?
Well, there are several reasons. One, COVID. That has basically, there's an article that was published about a month and a half ago. It's called National Assessment and Reporting, and I forgot about the acronym. It was published, we have a post on that on our Facebook. It was published like last month, I believe. And it shows that there's a decline in math readings through, at least within the United States, throughout the whole country. No state has escaped from that decline. Even the well-known state like Boston, like Virginia, like, I mean, those are highly, regarding education, the best school districts in the whole country. So that's a decline that was, unfortunately due to COVID, as you know, especially for the younger kids. The younger kids, I mean, as you know, I mean, during COVID, we have survived and we have gone through COVID. And as everybody else, we try to do what? We try to do online because we don't want to lose the kids that we had in our centers. So STEMtree has what we have done. We did between the 20th of, I will never forget this because it becomes like, like our history, like these things, we talk about it, like in our generations at least, between the March 20th, 2020 to June, we've introduced over 100 activities for our kids because we didn't want to lose those kids. We have franchisees that rely, and you can just lock your doors and go back until things gets better. So honestly, I can write a whole book of papers on this. Where parents are tired of having the kids doing online education. Younger kids can sit still, in classroom, let alone, within, online. So parents are complaining, they don't pay attention. You can't get a third, fourth, fifth graders, even sixth graders sitting on a computer and following the instructions and taking notes and understanding what it is. So that, led to, of course, a decline in overall education. I mean, that's very important. And people are moving away from the Common Core, at least in the United States, to private school, And we'll talk about, and there's a lot of other issues that, of course,
very nice. That's a very, very great trend. $200 billion just in this sector. And of course, your franchise is there to help all of our investors. Thank you very much. Great presentation. And we can't wait to hear even further expansion in the future. And more importantly, we'd like to have you as our 8th and final top expert of the year, 2023, because Abdelghany, we do believe in what you offer. We do know that, your franchise has helped a lot of investors in the past, and more importantly, we believe in the future of that franchise. So for that reason, I'd like to thank you very much for being here and of course being our top expert of the year 2023, top 8, and indeed a pleasure to actually have you with us.
Thank you so much, Daniel. It was a pleasure speaking to your conference and I'm new to top franchises. We have seen already quite a few number of consultants coming in from other countries within the US. So it's working, and we thank you for these opportunities to expand STEMtree.
Definitely. The pleasure is ours, and I wish you the very best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. And all right, guys, that was all of our speakers. But before we go, we actually would like to recognize a few of our very best franchises from around the world. Understand, we work with over 1,500 basic different franchises. But among all of those, this year in particular, the year 2023, we realized that a few of those have actually really outperformed the others. And today, we'd like to actually introduce to you all of these top that we've selected among literally 1,500 possible franchises. And here they are. I'm going to go through the list one by one. You can actually check them out later on with the help of what we will present here. But the very first that we'd like to start with is actually Wayback Burgers franchise. This franchise actually is one of the very best in terms of the burger basically business. We have seen this expansion all over the world, and that's why we thought that this franchise would be one of the very best if you would like to invest in the burger business. After that, we have, of course, our next top basically global franchise, which is PunctureSafe franchise, which is right now available for sale. And this, if you're in the auto industry or repair, this one really can truly enhance the quality of your profitability and your business, because if it really comes down to anything with tires, if it moves on a wheel, then you definitely have to come to PunctureSafe. Our next best basically franchise of the year 2023 is Michael Coffee Shop franchise. And this type of coffee shop, if you look at the logo, it might look a little bit like, the KFC of coffee, if you will. And ironically, this has actually attracted a lot of attention, and we are seeing very a huge amount of success, even though the company's been around only since 2008, and then became a franchise by 2015. So we're seeing a lot of development here. And if you would like to get into that beverage, basically, or coffee business, this one is a perhaps solid recommendation for us, and it's available for sale right now. Next on the list, it's GoFit. So GoFit, of course, as you probably know, it's all about creating this, localized approach that can be then expanded globally. And we believe in the future of GoFit. We know that GoFit is going to create a new, pattern in the industry, and that's why we have selected it as our top franchise, basically, of the year 2023, among all the other in this area. We just talked about education, with our last speaker, but we also have another great franchise available for you guys. It is called Coding Giants. Now, Coding Giants, of course, as you probably can guess, it's another top franchise in the field of child education. And with a focus, of course, on coding and programming, as opposed to simply STEMs and so on. And if you really would like to get a form of education to an audience that is focused mainly on computer programming, then this is the one for you and for your kids, which is currently available for sale. Back to the cafe business. Have you heard of Mango Mania? That's right. The name is just amazing. And believe me, the actual products are even better. If you just hold it in your hand, if you just start having it, just the taste of that will let you know that, oh my goodness, this thing will actually work, and you really cannot order only one. I'm telling you, if you go there right now, you can't just order one. Everybody will order for the second time, when they are there for the first time. So hopefully you should try that as well. The next on the list is Fish & Co. So as you probably can guess, this is going to be one of those competitors to Fish and Chips, if you will. And ironically, we've seen very solid growth in this basically particular franchise, because as a competitor to Fish and Chips, you're seeing some very different, unique approach to cooking as well as the product they offer. So we highly recommend it. And of course, you can now move on with the sales options if you would like to do so. Next on the list, it's Milagro. And Milagro, as you probably can see, it's been around for a while, and it is one of the very best, in this field. So we really encourage you to start, because the investment actually begins with only $2,400. So it's one of the lowest thresholds of investment. If you look at the previous ones, for example, you might have to have perhaps hundreds of thousands of dollars in capital to be able to get started. But with Milagro, all you need is $2,400 to get started right away and to have your own franchise. Why not? Let's go for it. So the next one, of course, is Mado, the bubble tea and coffee franchise. As you probably know, the F&B industry is riddled and filled with so many different brands and basically all around the world. But we select the very best that we see a future into. And of course, we're now here to present this one as well. Another great cafe business, which you can actually go for and try for yourself. Back to that one, we're going to now move on to education again. This one is about Megatron Robotics. That's right. The education of our children is a huge, huge aspect of most education franchises. And for that reason, we choose the very best. And this one will have a future, because parents will never deprive their basically children from high quality education. And that is why we believe that mechatronic basically is an important field that combines mechanics and electronics. And just like some of the previous business that we offered here, the actual investment is not that very expensive. So it's one of those more affordable types of franchises to get into. Now, on next is Tenacious Techies. We had the CEO on one of our programs here. They talked a lot about how effective this basically franchise could be. And guess what? It's actually one of the most affordable options currently available. And once we had this, the founders on our program, they talked about how they can actually expand their business globally. And guess what? Here it is. And it's so easy to get started right away with only $2,000. That's right. On to the next one, which is FireFit. Now, we all know how important fitness is. And at the same time, as you probably know, it's not always very cheap to start your own gym. But FireFit can actually help you using its own system in place to help you manage this complex approach to basically having your own gym, because gyms and fitness centers usually are very hard to maintain. They oftentimes are quite expensive, but once you have a franchise, it's all going to be taken care of because you have the system all in place. On to the next, we have Pattaya Thai street food. That's right. We talked about Thailand. Actually, our very first speaker basically was from Thailand. And you know that the Thai food is extremely popular these days. And fortunately, we have this right now, even though the initial investment might be a little bit more than usual, slightly more expensive. We're talking about minimum $300,000 of investment. But the fact of the matter is that Thai food is here to stay. And we know that Thai food has a great market, not only in Thailand or countries around, but all over the world. As you've seen so far, exotic food is now extremely popular. And most new franchises focus exactly on that exotic, unique type of food experience, because ultimately there are so many brands out there. If you want to be somehow distinguishable, you got to focus on a niche that is very unique and exotic. And that's exactly why we think Thai food is going to do that for you. The next one, another one is Dunno. We also had the founder of Dunno on one of our conferences speaking about. Guess what? They really knew their stuff, and they really blew us away on their last presentation on our conference. Now their business is available for sale. You can actually go ahead, become a franchisee yourself, and simply start investing. The next on the list, we are going to go 10 data franchise opportunities. Another great business with a very low investment fee for, to get started, basically, because we believe that you want to have the opportunity to be able to, use your, information in order to help the businesses around the world. And this one, since it's mainly about consultancy and offering, information, we really believe that it's going to be one of the easiest ones to get into. So if you want to get into some sort of easy franchise, you don't have a lot of experience or time, you don't want to just, get somehow all bottled down with, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Well, this is exactly the right one for you. On to the next, we have our ShareT. That's right, another F&B one here with, very, very rather high starting investment, but the fact of the matter is that ShareT is already present in 13 countries. And there are more than 350 successful stores that are profitable as of today in over 13 countries. And that's exactly why we believe that you should give this one a shot and hopefully try it for yourself. Next one, we have our La Denutria, which is also a very, very successful franchise to date with relatively low costs in terms of initial investment, which we personally recommend to you guys because we believe that even though this is a rather new company, and the launch has been since 2019, before the pandemic, still the success record is there to prove it. On to next, we have Repos, which is obviously another great tool if you would like to get started. Now, there's one issue about Repos in that once you want to start a Repos franchise, you have to have at least $1.5 million in investment capital. Now, that might be a little bit too expensive, but understand, the higher the investment, the higher the profit. So for those of our higher tier investors who would like to invest $1 million amounts in their franchises, this is one of those that will truly bring profitability to your doorstep. On to next, we have RoboClub. And as you probably can have seen so far, just in this conference, we had so many speakers talking about the future of education, tutoring, and educating our children. Well, RoboClub is actually, as you've already heard, is one of the best in this field. And we highly recommend to get started because in this types of franchise, not only you invest in your business, you're actually simultaneously investing in the future of our children. And that, of course, is a cause unto itself. Now, the next one, Salad Box, another great franchise. Just take a look. Just take a look at their salads. Just take a look at the photo. You see, Salad Box is very unique in that it offers, something that you probably cannot see anywhere else. And guys, if you want to start with a franchise, always go for the ones that make you say like, oh, what is that? Never seen something like that before. Well, guess what? You have never seen anything like Salad Box before. And if you want to get started with only $90,000, you can have your Salad Box right there. So why don't you, give us a call and we'll handle it. So have you heard of, Southern Fried Chicken? If it sounds a little bit like, its competitor, but we all know it's because it's sometimes even better. It offers unique menus that are in many ways unique and different from our own typical KFC. So if you would like to get into that type of business and you do not want to be yet another KFC, well, guess what? We have Southern Fried Chicken for you, which is pretty solid. And in terms of getting started, it is actually much more affordable than starting, a KFC, for example, brand. So this one is totally and highly recommended. On to the next one. We have iBoxic, which is also a very successful franchise that does not require a lot to get started with, but can actually be a great replacement of classic catering services for corporate and private events. So, this events business is going to be back because now we're out of the pandemic. The pandemic is officially over almost all over the world, which means we're going to have more and more events. And for that reason, iBoxic can actually help you with that and hopefully give you a lot of profits. And the last one on the list is the Pano Sign Service. The Pano franchise obviously offers a very great and fantastic opportunity for you to be specialized in visual communication. And of course, it doesn't take a lot to get started. It is not that expensive. And more importantly, we believe that it is one of the very best, which is why, along with all the rest, this was also one of the top franchise of, basically this year. And we gave all of these brands this award. And we are so happy that this just happened. And if you would like to learn more, please contact us. We will offer you all the contact details you need to get started right away, because this year, 2023, is the year of franchising. That's right. Earlier we said, if you would like to make $1 million, what's the best, fastest, and most reliable way to make $1 million this year? That's right. It is franchising. And today in our conference, you heard all of our speakers, and we picked the very best, our very top experts of the year 2023 on why that is exactly the case. So the year is here. We're just getting started. And we're starting this year knowing that the global economy and the recessions that we expected will not be as terrible as we thought. And more importantly, we know that as we leave the pandemic and the global economy does not shrink as much as we thought, this only presents greater opportunities for franchising, which is why today, if these speakers did not convince you to get started with franchising, then I believe the only other option you will have is to just check us out at topfranchise.com and just to see for yourself how these thousands upon thousands of brands around the world will eventually flourish and reach a very enhanced wide global market. So if you want to find out more, go check us out at topfranchise.com. We can't wait to see you there, and understand that we will hopefully see you in the future with the next conference to discuss how all of these brands are now expanding globally. But understand, the sooner you get started, the sooner you will reap the rewards. And that's all the time we have for, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Daniel Malgin, and this was the Global Franchise Conference. Have a good one.